This is All About Home Construction, and here's your hosts, Terry Cannell-Beck and Randy Blake.
That's right. Good morning, Randy.
Morning, Terry.
Happy Saturday, buddy.
And happy Saturday to everybody out there.
That's it. It's summertime.
Yes, it is.
Like officially summertime.
I guess we can say happy Saturday to everybody around the world.
That's it. It's wonderful. But no, all about home construction on WATA again. Thanks to all of our listeners out there. We do appreciate you guys. And on the podcast land, as you said, all around the world as well as here in Boone.
Yes.
So it's good stuff. Good stuff hearing from listeners all the time, and we do appreciate that. So it's fun stuff. But before we get into it, how was the VFW dinner last week?
Oh, man. It was unreal. And I'm glad I showed up.
Good. Because you got to eat it all.
No, they were short-handed. I wasn't even supposed to be there because I was supposed to be in the hayfield.
Yep.
But it just happened. Mother Nature worked in my favor between the rains, and
nice.
I got my hay up. And so I went in, and this time we did not run out of brisket until the last plate.
That's awesome.
And so we served right at 300 pounds of pork and brisket.
Wow, that's a lot of meat.
Yes, it
That's
was. So,
crazy.
I mean, golly, I got to thank everybody that came out. I didn't cook none of this.
Nice.
I helped put the menu together, but that's all I did.
That's awesome.
The vets took care of that. The Scots did. How about that?
No kilts, though, right?
No kilts cooking overnight. And
now, I did see some of their pictures they put out where they were like, it was like 3 a.m. and they're showing a picture of the grill going.
Yep.
So,
and it was a lot
cool.
better than last year because last year they cooked in those high winds.
That's right. Yep.
And one of them got up to go use the bathroom, and the wind was so bad it blew a chair and hit his leg and
that's right.
tore his ACL. The chair hit him
That's
so fast.
right. I remember hearing that now.
So we've been saving bubble wrap all year for him. And,
well, good. I'm glad it worked out. And that's a lot of meat, 300 pounds. So that's awesome. What was better, the pork or the brisket?
I thought, let me tell you what, anytime you can eat brisket or pork and not put any barbecue sauce on it, that's when it's
I'll give you that.
Dynamite food.
I'll give you that.
And I taught them a few things, about portion control and stuff like that. And because I had some people look at me like, because we give them 4 ounces of slaw, 4 ounces of baked potato or baked beans, and 4 ounces of potato salad. Well, on top of that, when you have 8 ounces of pork or beef,
that gets heavy.
And
it's a lot.
Corn on the cob and hush puppies. So a lot of people took to-go boxes home.
Yeah, that's good though. I like it. I love a good. My thing is I'm a big pork fan. I love a brisket, but it's hard for me to choose a brisket over pork. So, but then when I'm always like, oh, I should have got the brisket because I like a brisket. I just like pulled pork better.
Well, I like both of them. I'm like you. So we had a lot of people
tough. Anyway,
a lot of people wanted a split plate.
So now it can get split plate.
And so we had a lot of people do that. I forgot to roll. I have to commend Sam's Clubs on their rolls.
Yeah.
Because I have people just, like the last steak dinner.
Just loving the rolls.
We served 5 bags of rolls.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they're just an excellent tasting roll.
Nice.
And people eat them up. And we'll do another steak night this year. I don't know when. But do an Italian dinner next month.
Okay, so next month in July is going to be an Italian dinner. What's an Italian dinner for the VFW?
I don't know yet. I'll know more Sunday because
all right.
What I'm making them do is run test runs, and we use the people at the VFW as guinea pigs.
Why can't I be a taste tester?
Well, you never show up.
Well, I want to be a taste tester.
And
well, what's on the competition list?
Well, I don't know. See, I'm not even going to be here.
You're not even doing it.
And
all right.
Because, see, I already know what I'm doing in August. We're going to do another fish fry.
Yep.
And we're going to add oysters to it.
Nice.
And
nice for some. Not for me, but nice for everyone.
And then hopefully, if Dale Greer gets his act together, they're going to do stuffed chicken in September. We've not done stuffed chicken in
I was
probably
going to say,
about
when have you done
6-7 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
That's good.
And I think last time we did it, we did 80 plates with that.
Yeah. I remember it's been a while, so well, good.
And the thing about it is we really appreciate everybody coming out.
Yeah.
And it's really helping the VFW because it's allowing them to start upgrading the building. You know, we're still not – the wall's finished.
That's what – okay, so that was going to be my next question on the update is the wall and then the pavers and
the
stuff.
pavers is in process.
Okay.
We still have to have a landing put on the side of the building to allow people to go that way instead of going through the bar. But, you know, like the food accounts pays to have the carpets clean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that helps out a bunch. And
well, just maintenance on any kind of place, like, you know, any building, maintenance is the key. And so,
well, it's gone so many years,
right?
And you know, COVID took a big hit on everybody, and but Terry hit on the pavers. The pavers is for any veteran in Watauga County, whether it's a combat veteran or American Legion veteran.
Nice.
Okay, or veterans that's not part of any group, neither other group.
Okay.
And it's $50 a paver, and it's not a painted on; it's engraved with your name and stuff on it. There's 3 lines that you can put on this, and they're going to do the top and the memorial in it.
That's really awesome. I can't wait to see that.
And so give the VFW a call. I can give you the number, and if you're interested, because my brother is a member, even though he lives in Colorado, that's the only one he belongs to. Well,
that's the thing, and especially for those people listening on the podcast, right? When you know, the VFWs everywhere, but the one here in Boone, I will just say this because you know I'm not a member. You guys probably do more activities and more. Your presence is seen more than a lot of other VFWs. You guys really kind of step up and have a good program, I guess you'd say, going.
Well, we try, you know, and we try to be more community activated. Right. Kelly will be doing the 4th of July parade again. You know, nice. Kelly's been sick for the last couple of years, but at least she's coming out and doing the parades.
That's so cool.
But if you're interested in the pavers, you can call after 3 o'clock in the afternoons and at the VFW, and it's 264-9570. And it's the same number you call when you want food.
That's it. That's it. 828 area code.
Yeah, and but we're going to purchase my brother's going to purchase his own paver. We're going to purchase my dad one.
Nice. Because
he lived in Watauga County.
That's so cool.
So think about that, and even though it's veterans of foreign wars, it's a memorial for everybody.
And that's the coolest part. Awesome. Well, we'll take a quick break, and we'll get right back into All About Home Construction right after this. Obviously, by listening to this podcast, you see the value of All About Home Construction. Well, by joining our listener supporter community, you're not just tuning in, you're standing with us as we are able to support and fuel our passions of the construction industry. As a listener supporter, you'll enjoy exclusive perks, including hearing your name, or maybe even your business name, on our show. So please go to our Spotify website. The link will be in the show notes, and join. You can join for as little as $1 one-time fee, $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you think you can afford. Every single penny helps to keep this show going as we can continue to grow and do lots more things. Thanks a lot. And again, more importantly, thank you for listening to this. That's right. All About Home Construction here on WATA. And again, thanks to all of our listeners out there, and happy Saturday to everybody. So, well, all right. So I got a couple of questions, and we always love our listener questions, and we get them, you know, you can give us a call, 828-262-1567 on a Saturday morning, but we also get a lot of emails, allabouthomeconstruction@gmail.com, as well as the Facebook page, All About Home Construction. But this question that I'm going to ask you is one that my daughter actually asked me last night. I tried to get her to come on and ask it, but you know how teenagers are, and she doesn't want to wake up early on a Saturday morning. But I did ask her this morning. But anyway, I know the answer. Gave her the answer last night. I wanted to see if your answer is the same as mine. And so let me set the stage.
Setting me up for the fall, are you?
No, it's not that bad. She was cleaning. We were doing some, cleaning the house, and she had bleach, and she wants to put it on the floor, on the wood floor. And I was like, no, you can't put bleach on the wood floor. And she wants to know why. And so, what's your answer for that? I'll tell you my answer after you tell me yours.
Bleach turns everything white. It don't like urethane for sure.
Well, that's exactly what I told her. It's like, bleach actually, like, you can use bleach on wood. I mean, there's been times, especially like unfinished wood, where I've wanted to lighten it up, or maybe it's a pet stain or something, for instance. But wood bleach is a little bit different concentration than the dollar store bleach that you buy. But yeah,
well, is it bleach now?
I don't even know, right? That's a good question.
Because, when we was younger, the bleach was stronger than it is today.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
They put the white in white.
Yeah. Yep. But you're right when you said the key word there, and that's the whatever finish is on it, both polyurethane or whatever water-based finish, especially eats it up.
Yeah, because I remember one time in the '80s, early '80s, before we had pressure washers, we had to wash the concrete pads down with just hot water and hose.
Yep.
And I said, use your little bleach out there. I didn't realize the guy was going to put a little ammonia in it. And he said it's smoking.
Yeah.
And he had created
cyanide, right?
Yeah. And not really cyanide.
Well,
it's
I can't remember now. Chlorine and ammonia. I just know they don't mix.
Chlorine gas.
Yeah, chlorine gas. That's the word I'm looking for.
So I turned the hot water off, turned the cold water on, and that started shutting it down. From it, the hot water was causing it the caustic reaction to happen. And I'm going, have you never been taught any different? And he said, no, I just, he had mixed it so perfect that he didn't realize that it was almost to the point that it could ignite, even with the water the way it's smoking.
Yeah, I mean that could.
It really,
deadly.
It really cleaned the concrete good, but that just scares me to death.
Mixing chlorine and ammonia, or bleach and ammonia is that's dangerous stuff. It's pretty deadly stuff.
So then I said, how about we do this? And because we use powdered Tide, and we use a cup of Tide and a cup of bleach and 5 gallons of hot water, and it will strip anything that's on a tile wall.
Okay.
So we started using that on the concrete, and that helped out a bunch. And because on a tile wall, you take a brush and brush it on, and take a water hose or take a hose and hose it off, and when it dries, at least it's streak free. And we've cleaned all of our walls like that every night.
That's cool.
After we learned that, so.
Right. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so that was my answer to her was the bleach just it doesn't. I mean, bleach just eats away anything, and so when you got an organic product, especially like wood, it just eats up those grains.
Yep.
So,
and it just it opens the pores.
Yep.
Especially in red oak.
Yeah, well, I think red oak, any of those that's got lots of tannin in it, that it can go to town on. Red oaks and pine. I've seen it do this weird, like when it gets into the sap of the pine, it makes this weird like film. I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, it looks kind of like a plasticky, epoxy looking glue, where the bleach will mix with the pine sap, and it's pretty like gross looking. So yeah, so don't use bleach on wood, and even I said I've used it on like when I'm refinishing and stuff. I've used it before to like lighten up a spot, but even then you can see that it kind of degrades the wood. So it's not like you're pouring a whole cup onto it. At that point you can mist it a little bit. But even then, I'm sanding it back down. I'm not just leaving the bleach on.
When we do vinyl side, pressure wash vinyl side, it's 1 part bleach, 9 parts water.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean it's that mild.
Exactly.
And if even a deck, maybe a bad deck might be
right
2 to 8,
Yeah.
but even that alone on yellow pine is enough to start loosening the fibers up.
Exactly.
So you got to be, a lot of these guys that do pressure washing for a living, they live it day in, day out, and they know the right amount of chemicals to move because, some of the chemicals today have peroxide in them. They don't have bleach in them.
Well, and that was going to be my next comment was, peroxide is it's definitely safer to work with than bleach. But peroxide on bare wood will also
raise the
grain a lot. And honestly, I think scientifically that's really what it's doing is, and to get that stain out, that grime, whatever it is, but if you don't use it correctly or you put too much on or you leave it on, I think is the biggest thing too, and let it sit, is it causes damage to the wood over time. And so that's why you don't really want to do it. So.
Well, you know what Mastory uses to treat their floors, don't you?
What's that? I don't know.
30-weight motor oil.
Oh, yeah. I do remember hearing that. Yep. Hey, that was the old way to do it.
Yeah.
You take that and it keeps all the bugs out for sure. So, well, all right. So speaking of floors, I've been asked this question a lot over the last 3 or 4 weeks, actually, and that is, well, so a friend of mine was asking me. He's got a teak floor, and they tore up some carpet in one room, or not carpet. I guess it was like linoleum in the dining room, but you can't find that teak wood anymore. You got a good deal on it, years ago. Put it in the house, and it costs a fortune to match it, and it can't quite match what he has anyway. And so he's like, "What do I do?" And to me, I get asked that one a lot, and I'm of the school of thought that it's okay to mix species of wood.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna mix it all the way through.
Well, but like in this case, right? You can't get you have a separate room altogether, and you can't get the same product. So, to me, it's like, think the way I look at it is every room in your house painted the same color?
No.
So why does the floors? And if you had carpet, would it be okay to have a brown carpet and then one room have a blue carpet?
Well,
so why?
Do I look like I wear a dress?
But one of the things, and this was my suggestion. I asked him if he had any left over of the teak, and he happened to have a box or two. And I said, "Here's the key: you make a transition piece, you make a border, and so you can take something that contrasts really well with it, and fix it in, and use that teak as an accent inside of that other wood, so it kind of blends and matches with it, but you use a different species."
Yep. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of, let's say, maple. And then as a border.
Yeah.
Then they come in with walnut. Then they go back again with maple.
My favorite is maple and walnut together. So, for instance, it works both ways, but go with like a walnut border with maple in the middle. To me, is just that's just beautiful. Like a checkered floor, even. I'm not talking like a parquet floor. I'm talking like large checkers. To me, it's just that contrast. But you can do it with all sorts of species, right? Cherry's a good one to throw in there. Throw in a cherry and a walnut, or a cherry and a maple. Especially if you can get like a bird's eye maple. It's got some colors into it, right? And then you go with a maple, and then you go with some kind of clear cherry. Yeah, that's fun. But I don't know. I'm of the school of the thought where it's okay to mix species of woods in a house.
You sure you don't like parquet?
It's okay. I've done some parquet floors, and I've sanded some parquet floors. The catch is there's no guarantee, because you don't know how they're glued down, how well that glue sits.
Used to be the glue had to set 30 minutes before you could even start.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and you're really, when you refinish, you're relying on someone who really installed it correctly. And most of the parquet floors were done in the 70s, it seems like. And so you're assuming that, 40, 50-year-old glue is still solid. So
That was good glue.
it was. I mean, and I've done it successful. There's been one or two times, though, that I've had to repair some spots and kind of rob Peter to pay Paul kind of thing.
That's
pull some corners
That's when
out.
glue had VOCs in it.
VOC, right? Makes a big difference. I mean, finishes from the early 2000s are way different than now. So, but yeah, so that's two of the things that I've got questions about the last couple weeks. So, and then I actually got a follow-up question about the doors the other day. A couple shows ago we were talking about doors and hollow core doors and things like that. And we had some had a question that popped up from someone, and they were talking about the door hinges, and like how do you know which hinge to kind of get for the door? And my answer to that was, I guess, the size of the weight of the door, right? Like
Right.
you're going to get a different hinge for a hollow core door as you are for
Well, it used to be hollow core doors only had 2 hinges.
Yep.
And then when they went to the panel doors, they went to 3 hinges. Then it just, the most I've ever seen was 5 hinges on a door. But that door was 9 foot tall and 5 foot wide.
That's what I was going to say. I don't remember seeing that on a regular.
But it was also 3.5 inches thick.
That's awesome.
But the hinges were they were heavy duty hinges, like commercial hinges with ball bearings. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing about a door like that is you got to make sure you have enough jacks in it to support the load. Just that part of the wall had the support that wall needed, and you had to transfer it into the corners,
right,
with purlins and stuff, just to make sure that it could never give.
That would be my concern for sure. So.
Well, we put in the homeowner decided to put in a fancy wood door like that, and it come pre-hung. And he thought it'd be real nice, and I said, well, that door needs to set in here for a while before we install it. And he said, no, it won't have no problem.
Yes,
I said,
wood, though.
Yeah, and he said, go ahead and put it in. So we put it in, and I nailed 2 blocks on the floor so it could never be moved. And now the price difference was about $1,500 difference. This door was, he paid like $4,000 for this door.
Wow.
Because it was a discount door.
Okay.
Well, the discount door, even though, like I said, $1,500 cheaper, because when it rained, it expanded so much that the door couldn't close.
Yeah, I believe it. Yep.
So I don't know what they used in it.
Ugh.
And but if you shaved it, then it
was too short. Or in the wintertime, it's too much of a gap.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
Being the homeowner bought it,
yep.
It was his warranty, not mine.
Right.
Because when homeowners buy your own materials, there is no warranty on that product.
And that's something that anyone should remember when they're building or renovating, for sure. Well, have you ever been, I'm thinking like rustic houses. Have you ever been in a situation where you've kind of built a door, maybe board and batten, or maybe you've got,
we have.
Stuff
we
like
generally
that?
Do it out of tongue and groove.
Mm-hmm.
We've even built windows.
Okay.
We had a lady that we put an addition on the house, and the trusses came into the bathroom window about 6 inches.
Oh, wow.
And I told her from the start that we was going to have trouble, and she said, I'm not concerned with it. And I said, yeah, you are. And she looked at me so funny, and I said, they're not going to pass it because of that window.
Right.
And if you have a window in your bathroom, you do not have to have a fart fan.
Okay.
All right? Which she had one anyhow.
Right.
Adams Building Supply was a building supply around here where you could get specialty items.
Nice.
Okay? So what I did was I took that window apart, and I made it an awning window because he had the hardware to make it an awning window.
Oh, nice.
So now it was about 6 inches above the ridge.
That you could open up.
Yeah. And, well, I can't believe you can do that. I said, well, it's out there. You just got to find the stuff.
You just got to do it, right. That's it. So, well, that's what I've always wondered is, like, over time, because typically when you make your own door, like you got to add a lot of weight. I mean, it lets you have the equipment. I mean, like if you've got the specialty saws to make like a good door and stuff, but if it's a job site, build, it's going to be a lot heavier, I think.
Well, another thing too is you're going to go to building supply, buy this lumber, then you have to let it set till it acclimates. We talked about that, and a lot of wood, even though it's been kiln dried, can still warp from moisture in your basement.
Exactly.
Most of the time, those doors go in the basement somewhere.
Sure.
And the good thing is with these barn doors now that everybody's putting in these houses and stuff, that the weight of the door itself a lot of times will keep it from warping.
Right. Yeah. Well, but those barn doors are different because they hang.
Yeah, that's what I'm
versus
saying.
the swing, and so all the weight is on the spread across the top as opposed to the side.
It's always in compression and tension all the time. And but see, you're building solid wood versus sawdust.
Right.
Even though a solid core door is not solid material, there's got to be a filler in there of some sort. And the hollow core door used to be cardboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen some of those.
And now these doors is a type of mixture of sawdust that's put in these doors with I don't know if it's an epoxy, but but you can't take your pocket knife and cut it out.
Yeah,
it's hard because it has to withstand the press.
You said that about the about those cardboard doors. I had one time. So back when I had some lumber drying, from the sawmill, and I had I picked up on a job site some doors they were throwing out, and I basically just used it to cover up the lot, or my lumber rather. It was something that wouldn't blow away. It was a big sheet of something that wouldn't blow away. Was where I was going with this, and saving it from the trash. But it was like a month later, I come back out, move it. It just falls apart in my hand where it had been out in the rain and stuff. It's just like, it's made of cardboard. There's no wood in it. So, yes, I know all about that. No, that's I was just curious, like, because if you're creative, you can make some nice doors, nice patterns and stuff, and again, going back to the different species of woods, right? You can make all sorts of cool stuff, but you're going to be using, you're doing it something like that, like you said, you're using dimensional lumber where, whereas if I'm a door maker, I've got thinner and lighter materials to access. So
yep,
makes a difference. We'll take a break. We'll come right back right after this. Give us a call, 828-262-1567. Thanks for listening. Are you looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment you need to get the job done? Look no further than Blue Ridge Sawmills. We offer the full line of Hudson sawmills and sawmilling equipment, from portable sawmills to skidding winches. At Blue Ridge Sawmills, we understand that every project is different, which is why we offer a wide range of sawmilling services. We can help you from everything from finding the right mill for your farm, hobby, or even your business. We also offer a variety of sawmilling supplies such as blades and debarkers, so you can get everything you need in one place. If you're looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment and the service you need, then come to Blue Ridge Sawmills. We're here to help you get the job done. Call or visit our Cana, Virginia store at 276-755-3833 or our Asheboro, North Carolina location at 336-964-8304. That's right, all about home construction here on WATA. And again, thanks to all of our listeners out there, and just answering some random listener questions. Like I said, we get asked all sorts of questions throughout the week. And again, if you have questions you want to ask, you can message us or put it on Facebook, all about home construction. A lot of people just ask us if they see us. A lot of people give us a call on Saturday mornings, 828-262-1567. or allabouthomeconstruction@gmail.com. And if you're listening to the podcast, you can just click on the link there too.
Yep.
So that's all. So hey, we're here for you, right? That's what it's all about.
Well, I'm glad Terry monitors the email. So
I got you back. Got you back. It seems to be a lot more ads for like artificial intelligence, like audio stuff than anything. But I like it when I get real emails too. All right. So here's another question for you. since we're on the topic of just questions, is so let's say a listener wants to build a bonus room, right? Like an addition. They want to put in something. They want a bonus room, or a bedroom, right? Like, I've looked at different houses, and you see like, oh, this is a 3-bedroom house with a bonus room, and it's all, and like it. I've always wondered, like, why is it considered a
bonus room,
not a bedroom, or why is it a bedroom, not a bonus room? Like, where? And I say bonus room, that could be like an office or a game room or any.
Well, first off, the difference between a bonus room and a bedroom is a bedroom has a closet.
Okay.
If it doesn't have a closet, it can't be considered a bedroom. All right, because when they do the septic permit, they do it by bedrooms. They don't, and a bonus room don't include.
And see, and that's what I've always wondered. It was like, is this something that was added after the permit? Like
we have a lot.
We have this space. It's just a bonus room, but after I get the permit, I'm going to call it a bedroom.
Yep, a lot of people do that from out of state.
Yeah,
and it used to be that we didn't have to have such large repair fields in our, on our property. Used to be you could build a house on 3/4 acre lot.
Okay.
Well, now you can't.
Because you got to have 3/4 of an acre
and because of the repair field. And but I got to looking up. Now, North Carolina, we're under 2018 codes.
Right.
Now, the city has a bad habit of throwing codes in us.
Right.
Because codes can change every week. And so I got to looking at on the IRC code, International Residential Code.
Okay.
All right. Now, North Carolina has not adopted this, but some states has already adopted it because the 2021 code book is out in certain states.
Right.
And a minimum for a bedroom is 70 square feet.
70 square feet
is a minimum for a bedroom.
I mean, that's 7 by 10, but what? Typically, you'd have 8 by 8, I guess, would be the smallest, or as far as
an 8 by 8 be 64.
That's
feet.
what I was gonna say. Like anything that's 8 by 8, 64. I mean, that would be, so you would have to have at least an 8 by 9 bedroom.
I wonder if they're doing that because of trailers.
See, that's what I was curious, is like, what? Because what's the width of a single wide, or 14, a double wide that has
14
you go
foot
14
North
feet?
Carolina.
Right.
Tennessee is 16 feet.
Now, but the square footage is going to be inside square footage.
Now, see,
wall.
there you opened up a whole different can of worms, because HUD doesn't have to apply to the IRC code.
Oh, that's right. Never mind that. Yep.
They have their own rules that they have to follow.
Okay.
And I've heard people. I heard a building inspector one time say that you can't move that trailer because it's too old; it'll fall apart going down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you find that little tag on the side of that trailer that said it's HUD approved home, you could take it anywhere you want to take it.
Right.
They can't stop you.
So, but again, when you're adding an addition or something, right? That's 70 square feet to be a bedroom. It does the code call for a closet to be a bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if it doesn't have,
okay, that's what I was wondering.
If it doesn't have a closet, it can't be called a bedroom.
Okay. So 70 square feet plus a closet? Or is the closet considered part of that 70 feet?
No, closet's not considered that.
So see, you would have to have 70 feet plus a closet. Is there a minimum on what they consider a closet?
No, I've never, as far as I know, I've not been able to find that.
Okay.
So. The code, can be a little vague.
Right.
Like it coming out in 2021 and North Carolina's not recognizing it. And, I know I've told you in the past that you can look up your codes online. Well, North Carolina's decided now that you need to buy that code book.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that because it keeps just random people from getting a hold of it, right? That people who have no clue how to build a house gets a code book and thinks they can build a house. I understand that part. But at the same time, like, if I have my electric copy of it, I can keyword search what I'm looking for and find it a lot faster. But I'm a digital guy, so.
Well, I agree.
I get it.
There's a lot of people out there it really helped a lot of people that did their own projects.
And that's what I was going to say. Like that's the key, right? Like, are you talking about someone who's doing it themselves, or you're looking at from the government side of things, right? Like, who are they trying to protect, the homeowners or the contractors? And that's a balance, I guess, between the two.
Well, you know what? I really don't think they're trying to protect the contractors, because they don't have any problem writing a contractor up for breaking rules. And, and it can get to the point that a contractor can lose his license for a year.
Right.
Now, what's that going to do to him? Put him out of business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just it gets really frustrating, us being contractors, and we have to obey the law. And a homeowner doesn't have to do but probably about 80% of the law.
Right. So
there is no liability to them being sued 10 years down the road.
Right. And that's right. That's the issue, I guess you would say. So, all right. So I'm back on this the floor space, and when you think about it, so if I build a house or a room to the minimum of 70 square feet, plus the closet, a full size bed is almost 30 square feet.
Not a lot of room to move
that
around.
Doesn't leave very much room at all. Even a twin size bed, you're looking at 20 square feet. Well, so you throw a twin size bed in there. By the time you add in a dresser, or a side table, what do you? And the problem is,
I guess for us trailer trash, it wouldn't be hard.
Well,
we
live
in small rooms.
but the thing I'm pointing out though is like that doesn't allow for doors to open. Like, and what are you gonna do? Cover up a window with your bed? I mean, like, there's the logistics inside of that 70 feet. You don't have a lot of room.
No, you don't. And most of the time, your bed goes against the inside wall, not against the outside.
Right.
And it just depends on how the layout of the bedroom is.
I was going to say more times than not, because guess where my closet is? It's on the inside wall.
Yeah, but you just see what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's just, that's my thing, is like there's just not, you don't have enough space to move.
Well, smaller homes is good first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
Homes.
Oh, and I'm all for small homes. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll especially if I didn't have kids, right? I mean, I've got 4 kids, so it changes the equation. But I'm all about the small, tiny homes, because they're efficient. But at the same time, I like to be able to get out of the bed and stretch and not run to the wall.
Well, I could definitely see a bedroom under 70. Well, I could stagger around now.
Well, okay, so a bonus room, I guess that's anything that would be less than 70 would have to be classified as a bonus room, with or without a closet.
Correct. Well, it'd be a good small computer room.
Right. A little office, home office. Yeah. A little bar, like I'm thinking like in a basement or something, or if you've got a bonus room.
It'll be interesting to see if North Carolina adopts that in 2025 when the new code comes out.
Now, you said that was a residential code.
Yeah.
Does the International Building Code?
Now, the building code. Now, the IBC versus the IRC. IRC is residential code.
Okay.
IBC deals with commercial buildings and stuff like the building we're in here.
Right.
All right. Now, which we know this building wasn't designed to the IBC code, but like the building next door, that's designed to the IBC code.
Right.
The apartment building.
Okay.
And but they're saying, I've never heard that, but they're saying the IBC code can go into any type of structure built in North Carolina.
Okay.
But see, we very rarely do we ever get a crossover from it.
You said a key word there. You didn't say a house. You said structure. And that's one of the key differences, right?
Yeah. But like I said, I've never had a building inspector throw the IBC code on us when we're working on a house.
Right.
I guess the only time an IBC code would come in let's say in the county, see, there is no egress, or not egress, but setbacks in the county.
Right.
And under the law, your eave can set over the other guy's property.
I didn't realize. I thought you had to be back so many feet.
No, not in the county. City's 25 foot.
Yeah.
Front and sides.
I knew that, but I thought the county you had to be a few feet off.
Nope. The best rule of thumb, if you're going to build it that close to the line, make it 3 foot off. So nothing's over the other guy's property. But now let's say the guy on the other side of the line puts his house 3 foot off. And that only gives you 6 foot distance between the house.
Yeah.
Then the IBC code could probably come in because it'd be egress in a fire.
Mm-hmm. Instead of right. Well, but the other problem is too, you just because you build 3 feet from the line, it doesn't give you the right to trespass. The guy can put up a fence on the line, and now you only got 3 feet to paint your house.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought there was a little bit of a setback, but I guess it's just a practicality setback instead of a legal setback. I wouldn't have a house 3 feet from my line.
I wouldn't either. Matter of fact, I'd like a house in the middle of 100 acres. That way I couldn't see nobody.
That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, we'll be right back right after this. Are you ready to level up your home construction game? Obviously, you've subscribed to All About Home Construction. Now we would like to ask you for some support. You can be like Dave, Bill, and Skipper and help support All About Home Construction. The links are in the show notes. That's right, All About Home Construction here on WAETA. And again, thanks to all of our listeners out there and just trying to answer some questions that you guys have. So during the break, you looked up some definitions for us?
Yeah. The difference between the International Building Code and the International Residential Code. The IBC applies to all buildings or structures, while the IRC typically regulates single-family homes and duplexes. The IBC applies to all occupancies, including 1- and 2-family dwellings and townhouses that are not within the scope of the IRC.
Okay.
And the IRC is referred for coverage of detached 1- and 2-family dwellings and townhouses. So I guess what would happen is if you're building a townhouse, and then you add another one beside it, then you add another one beside it, now it leaves the IRC and goes to the IBC. Okay. Or probably if you have a townhouse and then build another townhouse that is adjacent that connects to it, then it would go to the IBC. So a duplex would still be under the IRC, the way I see it there. But if you build a triplex, then it'd be IBC.
IBC, okay. Which is all different than HUD. Because HUD code is manufactured homes.
Correct.
So that is its own little beast. Even if you turn a HUD home, at what point, like you turn a house that was under HUD code, and when you start building onto it to make it a duplex or triplex, then it would fall under the other rules because it would no longer be a manufactured home.
Well, actually, there's codes that you have to follow there. And if you do anything to a mobile home, like a deck cannot be attached to it.
Can't be attached, right.
Okay. Let's say you're going to build you're building a deck. All right. Now you want to enclose that deck.
Right.
All right. And you want to have to put a roof on it, and the roof has to go against the mobile home. All right. Now you have to have a ridge pole that is strong enough that it doesn't allow any weight to go on the mobile home.
Because all the way is freestanding. That's
right. Because the rest of the deck is freestanding, which there's nothing that says you can't do that. But you have to know that most of the time those trusses on a mobile home is only 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Right. And some engineers designed it, but he's not designed it to hang another roof load on it.
Right.
We took off my wife's uncle's house, we changed the roof on it, and it was OSB. Well, the dormer on it, believe it or not, I don't know how it come down the road, or if they added it after the fact, because the ceilings aren't very tall in them, and it only had like 4 or 5 screws in the whole dormer holding it on.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I'm glad it made it to the house, to the property.
Yeah.
Well, fun stuff. We appreciate all of our listeners out there. Hopefully that answered a lot of questions we've been getting, and we want more. Keep asking. So
Yes, we do.
that's it. Well, Randy, thanks, and I'm glad the VFW dinner came out well last week. And
We have to thank everybody in the community, Ashe County, Caldwell County, Wilkes County. We had people come from everywhere to it.
awesome. Well, Randy, I guess we'll see you next time. Take it easy, man.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the podcast edition of All About Home Construction. We want to thank Skipper, Dave, and Bill for supporting the show. If you're enjoying this episode and you want to help us by creating some more awesome content, there are a few ways you can show your support. Subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. This actually helps us reach new listeners and climb the charts. And please share this episode with your friends and family. Word of mouth is always the best kind of advertising. You can support us directly through our page on Spotify. The links are in the show notes. Thanks for listening to us.